just say people's name because you don't know that one moment they can take that and like build their whole career. You didn't see when Thanalysis shout me out on his pod and they take it because we overlook when you're lit. You're famous, bro. You're lit. We sometimes overlook how one name mentioned can change somebody's life.
Welcome to another episode of Thanalysis show with your one and only Thanalysis Kubo and Tony C.
What up, what up, what up?
Today, man. Yeah, I'm trying to still like, lock in and kind of like do the podcast and kind of, do this as well. But you guys have been amazing. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys so much. Today we have a special guest that's all about music, all about culture, all about rap and American culture. And he's going to teach me what things I didn't need to know, and I want to know actually. But before we go to that, remember, it's always Thanalysis presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call.
That's all.
Want to thank Prison White Company for being one of our new sponsors. Thank you guys so much. Want to thank Potawatomi Casino Hotels. If you ever come to Milwaukee, that's where you want to stay. If you haven't stayed there already, you should try to stay there. Have great entertainment, great food, and you might win some money. You never know. And last but not least, I'm loving it. McDonald's in the building. Thank you so much. Back to the schedule. And without further ado, I got my man, Punch.
Yo, this is very good. I'm very excited to be here, man. I'm excited. Let me get one for the. My man Tony. This is a good vibe.
Vibes.
Yes. This is a good vibe.
What the show's
I thought you were gonna have McDonald's for me though.
Not on the show, but we could get some. We
get unlimited. Can you get unlimited?
We're working on that.
That's crazy.
I don't.
That's fire.
But dude, one thing I want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Right, and we kind of went like we talked. You came here. We wrote Team Me.
Yes, sir.
Right. I made sure through him. We kind of did the podcast, and it was. You kind of gave me the vibe. You got his agent. Yeah. You guys go through
manager.
But then manager. I'm sorry, manager. Yeah. We call it agent. Just because I'm stuck with sports. But
I get it. Listen.
Yeah. But manager, right? And then did some digging. Kind of find out you managed a lot of guys.
I got a resume. It's something that I'm very proud of. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, and who I was in reality is I'm a DJ. Producer that really turned into like the street A&R. So all of my friends that were rapping started to come to me because I was one of the most popping DJs in New York that was on the come up. And the very first record that I heard that my guys brought to me was like, yo, whatever you got to do was hot. We curse?
Yep.
You curse. We'll believe it.
Hot boy Bobby Shmurda. Right?
Oh, okay.
So that's my boy. You get what I'm saying? Born and raised in Brooklyn. Bobby from 10 minutes away from where I'm from. And I started taking this, I started sending it to every label that I could ever get a hold of. I'm sending everybody, look at my boy, look at my boy, look at my boy.
Bobby Shmurda.
100%, And then we sending it to everybody. Everybody just looked at me like, this will never work. These guys look dangerous. They don't got no girls in the video. This is not gonna be it, Punch. And Bobby the record kept going. Sometimes it's just in God's plan, bro. You know what I mean? Like these random guys from Brooklyn, nobody knew it, didn't have a big buzz. This record goes and it goes viral one weekend when Bobby took his hat off and he throws it. There's a famous clip that Bobby throws his hat and then it doesn't land. He throws it off screen. Mm-hmm. But everyone's like, where did the hat go? And it actually went viral. And then people loved the dance, the vibe, the energy. And then Bobby basically brought New York back at that point. And now everybody that was affiliated started to catch temperature around it. And once Bobby happened, the city was in a frenzy. Everybody was looking. And now we got Bobby Shmurda. So now that this is happening, every label's like, how did you know that this record was gonna work? It doesn't make no sense. How? How could you, there's no chorus, there's no nothing that makes it stand alone. And that record, you can play that record at 000 all the way to the last second and the whole crowd will be from the start, even the peak of the song. And I caught a body about a week ago. Yeah. And then we tweaking, ho. You know what I mean? Like this is great. Like that's 2.5 minutes in. Yeah. Like just think that that's a crowd full. So when Bobby does this, And then I'm around and everybody started coming up to me. So I had this girl artist that was with me that was like working with me, just trying to, we was trying to get it on. I was bringing her to all my clubs, everything like that.
No, we're talking about another artist.
Yeah,
right?
no, I'm gonna walk you through the right way.
Okay.
So I'm in there. I got this girl artist. She with me. I'm gonna tell you how the story goes. I'm in the club. I'm playing G-Unit music one day, and this guy comes to me. I'm going to send this video to 50 Cent, and I'm like, sure you are. He's like, no, I promise you, I'm gonna send it. All right, cool. 50, what up? Holla at me. And I'm playing this G-Unit set, going crazy, DJing. The club is on smoke. Everybody loves it. He takes this video and sends it to 50 Cent. I thought he was lying. I didn't believe that he knew it. Now, I had guys up there that also knew 50, but it just didn't make sense. I was like, 50 Cent feels so distant from a young Brooklyn kid. Like, yeah, right. Push come to shove, 50 seen it. I spoke to 50. 50 was like, yo, you're talented, man. You ever thought about doing interviews? Push come to shove. I go. I do the interviews. My guys was already up there for it. It was so much energy with a lot of things that's happening. All of a sudden.
So wait, 1 second.
Yeah.
You go from breaking the record to being a DJ, and all of a sudden somebody comes and is like, I'm gonna send this to 50 Cent.
100%. With me in the club, playing 50 Cent records.
And then you actually end up meeting 50 Cent then.
Meeting 50 Cent. It's the wildest thing. But I met 50 Cent. But before it happened.
How was it? Like when you met him?
Meeting 50 Cent is weird for me. Because at first I'm looking at him like, yo, this is 50 Cent. But I'm looking at the most random shit. While I'm trying to focus on 50 Cent, he also has like diamond plaque, BET Award, Billboard Award, Universal. You're like, yeah, man, 100%. Yes. You want to take in the moment, but you're taking in the whole moment. Like 50 Cent has 8,000 awards. He has multiple of everything. So for me, the whole moment of it was overwhelming. But me and 50 from those days ended up developing an extremely lit relationship. 50 would literally just ask me everything. Yo, what's happening on the bottom of Brooklyn? What's happening with this new artist? He would just ask me. It used to blow my mind that 50 Cent would ask me questions. I thought it was nuts. I'd be like, yo, bro, you're 50 Cent. Why do you care what I think? But what 50 identified, which is something that everybody important should, and this is good advice, 50 Cent identified that I don't know everything. And if you're worth $100 million and you got 20 million, 40 million records sold, you think like I know everything. But he understands I don't know everything. So what's happening in your world? Because your world is what's happening next. And if you can tell me what's happening, I can predict this and possibly do business, maybe snatch one of the artists early. 50 was always on point with what's going to happen next.
Okay, so going back to the second artist you had.
Yeah, so then I got this artist. So now I'm in there. Now I'm starting to get popular because I'm on the YouTube. I'm doing millions of views a week. I literally go to Applebee's in downtown Brooklyn. I'm literally at Applebee's in downtown Brooklyn.
Yes.
Getting food. And then I basically meet Designer. And meet this record that I had met him a while ago with another artist named Fresher a while back. But now they bring me Panda. I listened to Panda in Applebee's in downtown Brooklyn and go, there is no way that this sounds, because at the beginning, no shots or nothing, sounded a lot like Future at the very, very early.
Yeah, 100%.
You get what I'm saying? It sounded
Everyone thought that was
Everyone
Future.
thought it
you get what I'm
was
saying?
Future.
100%.
Yeah.
So when I'm hearing it, I'm like, this is insane. So while this is happening, something that's very, very important was, I was always like a revolutionary a little bit to my city, where I would talk to all my young DJs and go, bro, let's just revolt against everybody that's in power and take it over. I hate how, because our OGs, we're from New York. It's so legendary that all of our OGs are not just OGs. They're all the legends of the culture. So they're the guys that did everything. They put out albums. They've done everything. They have plaques, and then they're not looking to relinquish power. So I'm like, yo, bro, you hot. Yo, let's just take this shit over. Let's stop jacking the old guys and let's just do our own shit. Yeah. And they were just kind of like, I don't know. But because I was just kind of like a rogue idea. But now I got all of these DJs in unit. My man was like, yo, bro, I'm already playing it. We start playing Panda. And broke the record. And everybody, now all of a sudden that record's popping in the city. 50 comes up, someone brings it up and like, yo, there's this new song called Panda. Everybody's liking it. I had brought Designer up to do my first interview when I had, the new year came when they agreed, Punch, you're going to be now the new face of it. You're lit. Everything is all cool. You're on
Wait,
This Is
new
50.
face of what?
I skipped. 50 Cent had a digital platform called This Is 50. So if y'all know my face, y'all might see it. If you don't, you could press pause and Punch, This Is 50, 110 interviews will pop up.
So you were doing the interviews with
I'm
these
the
artists.
lead face of the interview of it. Over that 2.5 years I was there, I probably got a hairline over 35 million views. Maybe 40 by now, who knows?
Casually.
So it was nuts. I was basically doing everybody's first interviews. Made in Tokyo, YFN Lucci, Free of Me just came home, Moneybag Yo, it's so much. And then I didn't want to say the other artists, then you'll hear how the story go. So now that I'm the new face, shout out to Heineken that was up there. That's my brother. Make sure it goes. Jeremy Bettis, everybody that was up there at this 50 that was making a lot of things work. When I started getting these interviews and now the views is going up, everybody's like, yo, I'm basically one of the original don't jump out the window, one of the original like rap podcasters. Because in theory, we're just right there. Shout out Combat Jack, you get what I mean? R.I.P. Who's like one of the original OGs, but he ended up passing. But I'm in that generation of being in front of that microphone, long form content, talking about the culture. Before it was something that was trendy. So when we're doing this and now people are seeing it, I was identifying from the DJ in me and from the A&R in me, this guy's gonna blow. Let me reach out to him and be like, yo, bro, let's come on the platform. So I didn't wait for management. I didn't wait for representation. I didn't wait for a label. I didn't wait for PR. All of that shit is corny. I don't even want, when the label's already calling me, it's already too late. Respectively, for who I was at that point. So I'm watching the internet, I'm watching who buzzing, and then what happens is that fans start to go, you're the guy who catches everybody new. So now I'll start sending you shit. Look at this guy. He got 10,000, 20,000 views. Check him out. Now I'm getting fed information from all different regions around the country, arguably the world, realistically. So now that everything is going, I'm starting to get this energy, this momentum. That's how designer, they kind of recognize the power of it because they're looking on the YouTube. Yeah. Shout out to him. He starts buzzing. I knew his manager at that point too. And then when that goes, the record blows up. 50 Cent is like, who's this kid? They're like, well, ironically, Punch brought him up here on Friday. It's like, Punch brought the kid. He's like, that's Punch's boy. He's from Brooklyn. So then from that exact point right there, I brought him up on a Friday, did the interview, and then by Monday, 50 Cent was meeting him.
That's wild.
It was just that fast. And 50 goes, I'll tell you the wildest stuff, man. This is a very crazy story. It's not even about Designer. It's really about 50. So Designer had another meeting to go to with a label after this meeting. And 50 holding him up. He like, yo, big bro, kind of uncomfortable to tell him. Because 50 is very aggressive. Very aggressive. Very bullyish. If you don't know him, it's an uncomfortable thing for you for a while. So 50 was on his bully. He had this meeting to go to. And he literally goes, yo, bro, I got a meeting with so-and-so. 50 calls him and goes, yo, the meeting canceled, man. The kid with me, man. Boop. So now, he's like, don't worry, man. You're going to go. But now they know I want you. Now you worth double.
Oh, that's 50. That sounds like 50.
I was just like, and that's when I'm just like,
I need him as my agent for my next contract.
Oh, he's just kind of, he didn't even know if he wanted him yet. I mean, he knew he wanted him, but he didn't know if he was going to finalize the deal. Mm-hmm. But he knew once I do this, no matter what, I just change your life. They now know I like you.
That's love.
It's insane.
That's love, yeah.
It's insane.
So you mentioned, I want to go back a little bit because you mentioned the first time you heard Panda, all these other tracks, right? I remember the first time I heard the Get Rich or Die Trying album. Mm-hmm. Like that was just like a moment that I remember because it took over.
100%.
But like, so you're growing up in Brooklyn. Like who were you listening to just coming up? Just like those records you remember like listening to vividly when you were younger.
Everything is Jay-Z and DMX coming up.
Everything?
Everything was just there. And then I think that's just what it was, you know, and I go viral all the time because it's very rogue because I don't grow up on Pac and Big. And everybody's like, I'm going against the rap Bible. He doesn't love Pac and Biggie. He's crazy. But I try to tell him like, I'm a representation of a younger generation that didn't grow up on Pac and Big and didn't connect to it. I connected to what I felt. And what I felt was Jay-Z and DMX. And after listening to for about a year, I then was trying to, it's always been a part of me, I wanted a rapper that was gonna represent me. Because Jay and DMX were already the shit. DMX put out 2 #1 albums first in hip-hop history at that point. It's Dark and Hell is Time, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood in 1998. Jay-Z puts out this album. These guys are #1 in the world. Mm-hmm. I wanted it, and that's when I basically like fell in love with everything Fabulous music. Fabulous was like
that's one of the names. I could talk New York rappers with you all day, and we'll get into it at some point. But like,
so I want to go back to the story. I want to go back to the story. So talk with 50. Panda breaks out. Yeah.
So now he goes, I'm picking it right back up. Panda's starting to jump. Everybody's trying to get him. 50 tried to get him. This is a Monday night he with 50 Cent. 50 does that call. The Tuesday, he goes out. They had this group. It was called like TK and Cash. They had this record called 3 Times in a Row. Designer comes out with them like on a Tuesday. And then the Wednesday, Steven Victor, who was at Def Jam and Good Music at that point, brings him to meet Kanye like the Wednesday, Thursday in the airport. And he just meets Kanye. And Kanye, how it's been told to me, Kanye basically blessed him very heavily. I know like what happened behind it, but it was a lot of money that he got. He signed with Good Music. A couple weeks later, he's at Mass Square Garden. A couple weeks later, Kanye's on the Panda remix, and it just goes. So now Designer's like the number one guy. New York is loving him. Everything is going, but Designer wasn't really talking much. I was the only interview that he had because as soon as he sounded good music, they were like, don't talk no more. We want to make him like super creative. He don't speak. I feel like that destroyed his brand, respectfully. You know what I mean? Because they didn't allow him to get fans because he wasn't talking. Like talking is essential to telling your story. People don't even know that Designer is really from Brooklyn. They don't really know that he's from Bed-Stuy. They don't know that because Kanye came up with this "you're not gonna talk" thing. Or maybe good music. Maybe not say Kanye, but someone there was like, don't speak. Then he didn't speak. So my interview is going up. It did like 10, 15 million on Facebook. It's going crazy. We're doing millions on YouTube. It went crazy. It actually had came down and got re-uploaded again. I think the new one now is probably at like 1 million, but there was one prior because we had played Panda in it because he wasn't lit yet. Legal stuff with YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So we played the song thinking it's like this local song, and then 3 weeks later it's Kanye's on it. Like, no, take that down. So that's really what happened. That's how crazy it was. So that goes. So now this girl artist that I've been working with the whole time basically was like, yo, man, like, let's lock in. You're supposed to be with here. This is the home that you create. And this was going on. I was bringing her to all the clubs, everything that was going on. Getting all my DJ friends play all of her mixtape songs. We in the house in Brooklyn, starts playing records. And then later that day, we head to the studio and we create this song called Ooh, and that girl rapper was Young M.A. So then there it goes again, another number one record I'm right next to, right a part of again. And it ended up going number one in 2016. So now we see like that's 3 years of number one records. It just feels insane.
I just feel like New York has been on a run, right? It was just the run of New York and just upcoming artists and the culture, you know, because now the names we're talking about is more like really, really, you gotta really love rap and listen to rap. It's not like some global like, oh yeah, everybody knows Young M.A. Or
they know the
Bobby
song.
Smith. They know their song
might
for
not
sure.
Know, they might not know the artist, but they know the song
for sure. You know, and I say this as a person who like coming from overseas and the culture comes to us after a year and a half type of vibe.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And then comes the most viral kid in the world ever.
After Young M.A.?
After Young M.A., I leave M.A. at the top of 17. And then shout out to my boy Shotty, the whole Treyway, free all of them. I got a phone call to come and curate and put my hands on the hottest kid in the planet at that time, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
What?
So you were involved in that?
Involved is an understatement.
Involved. I don't even have a question. I'm just going to go.
Yeah, no. So my question is, how do you break artist after artist after artist?
Yeah. I'm there from day one. From the second we in there, he was recording Kuda. Gummo was already going crazy. I was already talking to Shotty. Shotty was like the face of a lot of it. Shout out to all the guys. A lot of people that helped made that go from ground level. Because that story doesn't get told well because of all the mess that he later got in. That kind of blurs a lot of it. But there was a lot of people on ground level, you know.
I'm shocked.
That was making
I'm not going to lie to you. I am shocked.
There was a lot of people over there. Outside of it, it was just, you know what I mean, like the whole non-trade, just everybody around it. You know what I mean? Like, it was a real thing, man. You know, they had rappers over there. They had a lot happening.
So so after him, after that, what did you do? Like after?
Well, with him, we started rolling out records. You get what I mean? Like everybody was over there just going crazy. You know, they had Seiko Billy, Auto Billy. All of my guys, like I try, you know what's one thing I go viral for? I always tell everybody, say everybody's name. Because on these moments, right, even if you just say their name one time, like I just did, someone now goes, I'm acknowledged. Because there's so many stories that people aren't acknowledged in. And you go, oh yeah, my boy was over there. So I try to always make a conscious effort, and you should always do it too. Just say people's name, because you don't know that one moment, they can take that and like build their whole career. You didn't see when Thanalysis shout me out on his pod, and they take it, because we overlook when you're lit, you're famous, bro. You're lit. We sometimes overlook how one name mentioned can change somebody's life. So I try to always do it. So they there, we start traveling the whole world, bro. And that's it. We the biggest thing. We traveled all over Europe, been to Greece. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Been everywhere. Everywhere. Paris, France, Ibiza, Milan, the Czech Republic, Russia. I mean, we've been Dubai. We've been around the whole world. Like, I got to tour the entire world with the most viral kid in the world. And then if you remember it, remember when you used to see 50 Cent and him a lot around each other? Yeah. I'm the one who made that relationship go. Because I'm the one who's harassing 50 Cent. Yo, big bro, look at the kid I'm rock. Come on, big bro, come on. Look at him. And he looking like, y'all niggas going crazy. I don't know, man. Y'all got a lot of views over there, and we're running it up and just, you know, doing billboard entry after billboard entry after billboard entry. And it was all cool. It was fun while it was there. We had a lot of fun. A lot of my friends, we got to do some cool shit. But, you know, it ended up getting dark. A lot of the street stuff started to spill into the music. And then everybody got in trouble, and then, he did the dishonorable thing and decided to cooperate against his friends.
Yeah, I'm not. I am outside the bubble.
Yeah, that's just what happened.
When it comes to that.
Yeah.
No, just because
it just got messy.
Yeah, just because first of all, I'm not even from here. First of all,
Yeah.
But like, I do understand that there's a certain we would call it etiquette, but we'd say it's a certain code, of like doing things. But let me ask you another question now.
Yeah.
So what happens after that? After 6ix9ine?
Jeez, after 6ix9ine, start going in. I really wanted to become like DJ Khaled of New York, because at that exact point, I look up to Khaled and everything he does. I love Khaled so much. Shout out to Brooklyn Johnny and everybody over there. I look at what Khaled does. It's so crazy to be able to put all these artists in the room and make these songs. So I was like, I want to be Khaled for New York and put this together. Because by this point, A Boogie is booming. Cardi B is booming. Fresher's going crazy. Cass. It's so much Brooklyn energy with designer Bobby. Well, Bobby was in jail for a lot of that, but Young and May, it just was so much energy coming from New York. I'm like, what if I could just do Khaled and be Khaled? And I was trying to, and then the case came, and then it kind of made everybody get nervous. Because it was like a federal case.
Oh, man.
It got so messy that you go, what happened? So you kind of stay away. I moved out to Cali for a while. I was chilling, started getting into different businesses. And then all my friends was calling me back to come back to Brooklyn. Like, we got this new kid. He's from Canarsie. That's where I'm from, in Brooklyn. He's like, yo, we got this kid. I'm like, bro, I don't want to do music no more, bro. You artists hurt my head. I don't want to do it. I'm stressed. And they're like, yo, we got this kid. Just come listen. And my man Big Show had called me up, and it was Pop Smoke.
Mm-hmm. You came back for Pop Smoke?
100%. Came back, started chilling with him, talking to him, trying to give guidance, trying to give everything. And I'm probably like the first person to really like post and co-sign it and really, really bring that attention to it at a very, very early stage. Like, y'all, it's Punch, man. I got the next kid, Canarsie, Pop Smoke. There's a video when we rented a Rolls Royce, did it in like the parking lot in the hood, and just made everybody see it. And that's, that was like Lil Bro. And then all the guys around them, Steven Victor, Rico Beats. Rico, I grew up with Rico. These are like my friends. These are my real life neighborhood. Like, not my borough. Like, again, for the foreigners, because this was worldwide.
So I can understand.
So in America, right, there's a region, Northeast. In Northeast, there's New York. That's not the New York that y'all think. The New York that y'all think is New York City. Y'all not really thinking New York when they hear New York. They think New York, they go Times Square, Manhattan. That's New York City. So out of this big state of New York, there's New York City. In New York City, there's 5 boroughs. Queens, Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Staten Island, right? Manhattan is where you would call New York City as a foreigner. We would call the whole thing New York City, but they won't. They call Times Square, Manhattan, the big buildings, that's New York City. That's how they see it.
Yeah.
So as I come back, I'm from one of the 5 boroughs in New York City called Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, there are smaller cities because it's so highly populated. I'm from a city called Canarsie. In Canarsie, he grows up blocks away from me.
So my question is like, it's crazy. I kind of feel like, like saying, how like a lot of athletes would come in from the same area. You're like, oh man, we used to hoop together. We used to play together. So it's kind of the similar thing. Like, there's so much talent that, with culture and rap and people just really coming out from New York.
New York was booming for a while, bro. It felt beautiful.
Yeah, but you could say that it's been New York for music-wise. It's been booming for a while since like 1980.
Subjective, because it stops.
When did it stop?
After 50.
Who picked it? And then it picked back up?
And then there were just moments.
Okay.
Like, we controlled rap until maybe 50 Cent. After 50, I don't know if New York controlled rap. I think Atlanta took it over. 2004 is T.I., Young Jeezy.
I do want to talk about a little bit about that.
There's at some point I want to get into
It goes to Atlanta.
the different regions.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated from the stories when he's
That-
coming from like artist to artist and
last artist story on that. So there's the viral video of I think the caption when it first came out was like, "This is when Pop Smoke knew he was going to get everyone out the hood," and they play the song. Where what video I'm talking about?
I don't know.
It was what's the
Welcome to the Party?
when they're playing that and the beat hits. Were you part of that?
I don't know what video it is, because remember, they just put headlines on top of it.
Gotcha.
But when I heard, the thing with Pop was this. I heard Pop before Welcome to the Party, before Dior, his big hit record. You get what I'm saying? The most painful thing about the whole Pop Smoke thing, and I'm going to be very real with you, a lot of people get the timelines blurred. Pop Smoke has never been able to feel his success. That's the toughest part about it. Like, Pop puts out his biggest record, Welcome to the Party, in May, and Pop was killed the next February. He didn't get to tour the world. He didn't get to tour the country. He didn't get to feel his success. That's what's so tough and painful about hip hop as a culture sometimes.
It is.
You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people blur and go, Pop Smoke is so big. Yes, when the album came, he was already, sadly enough, he was already killed. When 50 starts executive producing the album and they get all the features, the Little Baby, Da Baby, A Boogie, everybody who's on the album, Pop is already gone. So he's never got to be like, I'm the Pop Smoke that the world loves. He didn't get to feel that. And it's such a depressing feeling. I'm letting you take it for where it is, but I'm just speaking as somebody who's his friend. Because me and him, we were close and then we fell out. Got into a beef on the internet. It's a lot of attention for him. And I consider it, like we spoke about it, you know what I mean? He had jumped out the window and heard a clip that I said and didn't notice it was edited and responded to it, thought I was dissing people and responded. But he's also a kid, so I never took it personal. I'm calling all my friends, put him on the phone. And then when he gets on the phone, he's like, my fault, I didn't listen to the whole clip. My fault. So we spoke. This is the Thursday or Friday before he gets killed the next Wednesday. I was in LA and me and Pop Smoke was talking on FaceTime. He was just coming back from UK and from London side. And when I'm talking to him, I'm like, yo, bro, what happened? He's like, yo, bro, my fault. I didn't look at the clip. I just reacted. People was gassing me. They sent me the video. So I just felt like I had to respond. So when we really spoke, he was like, yo, bro, I miss you. I'm like, I miss you too. I'm proud of you. You get what I mean? For him, he was getting the attention. For me, I've won at that level even bigger the year before with the kid and the year before with the girl. You know what I mean? Like, I've done it. So I know what it's feeling like. I know what the attention of women is like. I know what the new birth of money is for someone coming from my town and being like, yo, I got 50,000, I got 100,000, I got $250,000, I got $500,000. I understand those tiers that changed your life forever and go, yo, you can go, mom, hold 10,000. Good, mom. Here, 20,000. You could do that now. Again, for someone on the come up, this is an insane emotion. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we're there and I talked to him, we were all cool. He was like, yo, when I come out to LA, we're going to link up. We need it, bro. I was doing an interview on No Jumper, where it's still on the internet now. So if you Google punch No Jumper, you'll see the interview. I got like 1 million views with me on Adam 22's podcast. And the interview starts off with Adam asked me about Pop, and I said I just spoke to him. That interview ended up coming out the Wednesday morning when Pop had got killed in that time span. The toughest part about that whole thing is that when Pop came to LA and went to studio, he was with my nephew and like my little brother was with him. He was with Scooby Dozen and On Point OP, OP is the last song that Pop Smoke has ever recorded. They were with him, so I would have been with him. It's so much stuff, man.
No, it's just like
my fault if I'm taking it a whole different. But
no, it's not. No, it's direction. I want to kind of see like, what is the violence? What is the? Is it the culture? Is it ego? Is it pride? Is it competition? Like why?
Every single thing you said is a blender.
You know what I mean? Like everybody you spoke of had a huge, massive record.
Humongous.
And then all of a sudden something happens, right? We're talking about like 80% of it.
TA.
Right?
You're talking facts, man.
So my thing is, what is the, how do we stop that circle? How do you
We have to identify it first.
Exactly.
So your fans, I'm gonna identify what happened so that they can understand. In America, we are assumed to have unlimited amounts of access to win. There's an assumption like, yo, you could just always there's a million chances. It's not true for the bottom. There is a limited amount of possibility, but it's not a guarantee of the moments of chances you can get to actually getting to the success. So when you're losing for so long, it creates an aggression on ground level that people can't comprehend how to deal with it other than greeting it with aggression. So like, you ain't winning, I ain't winning. What happened? You're angry at the bottom. It's not a comfortable emotion when you want the things that we see on the internet. It's not comfortable when you want the access. You know, a lot of these people, they got their family that they want to take off, their little brothers, their little sisters, nephews, nieces, and want to do things and go, I can't. It sometimes comes out as frustration. Now, because hip hop is such a loud sport, it's so, I'm the big dog. I'm here. What's up? I got the biggest chain. That antagonizes the bottom layer. Even though they need the bottom layer to promote them, they're almost antagonizing them.
So explain that to me. Like define that a little bit more. I do think I understand what you're saying.
So sometimes it's the weirdest thing, but our rappers are dissing the people that they need. So rappers will go, man, y'all broke. Let me show you how I get money. Yo, we lit. We getting money. We this. And they position the music to almost shit talk to the people that don't have it. But then people who don't have it sometimes want to use music as their escape. So they embody these moments to then rap the stuff. But in reality, they're getting dissed because they don't have the stuff that they're talking about. So it's a very odd cycle. But this is where it gets very dangerous. Because rappers will come to a small market and do these songs and do this stuff, but then there's a group of people that's like, I ain't celebrating it. And that's when rappers get into beefs a lot in these smaller towns because they're coming there trying to take somebody's girl, trying to take that energy and be like, I'm big now, I'm in your city. And then you get that friction. And that's where a lot of rappers get hurt because they're bringing this energy of bravado of I'm the shit and you're not. Of I'm the big dog and you're the little dog, of I'm here, be happy. And they do that sometimes, and that bottom layer of masses of people get agitated, and sometimes you'll get that love from the most, but there's a group of people that's like, why he even in this club? And they watch it, and that's when you see rapper shot at, rapper robbed, rapper hurt, because the culture is an aggressive, big dog culture.
Yeah, but so now my question would be this, right? Because I think athletes have bravado, like everybody, athletes, entertainers, actors, everybody has to have a certain way of like, you know what I mean? And you said something about the sport, and every sport is different. And I like to use the sports analogy into like the culture and rapping and stuff like this. So how do you stay safe? How do you like just, you know what I'm saying? How do you like grow your band and become somebody? And obviously, we talk about 50. I mean, 50 has done it and became this businessman, a huge entity into the business entertainment. But he's been shot so many times.
Yeah, we call it action. He's been in action hundreds of times.
Yeah, he's been in action. So how do you like, do you advocate against it? Do you stay in your lane? Or does that look as a weakness?
Well, one thing is 100% staying in your lane because you need to be who you are.
Yeah.
If you're not an aggressive person, stay out the aggressive streets. Yeah. But there's this assumption that I know how to make my rap feel big, so let me put on the big show. And that's where a lot of rappers get hurt. The reason why 50 Cent, I mean, although he's been shot, fair, but the reason why 50 is still moving and kicking is because 50's never faked. Like, I always talk about it. A lot of people ask me all the time, 50 Cent is real life crazy. Like, I don't think people grasp it. They think he's joking a lot when they see him. 50 Cent is really the guy that, whatever you're imagining, he's him. It's not
I do, no, but I mean, to me, I see him as a businessman. I just feel like he does everything like strategically.
Go back to 03, 04, 05, 06. That person is him.
I was probably, how old was I? Probably 10. Probably 10 years.
Age, so, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Probably 10.
Go back, he's that guy. Really? So he's prepared for the level of aggression that came with it. Now, he doesn't want the aggression. He's putting on suits and making business deals. But at the beginning, when 50 Cent brand, when the G-Unit brand was growing, you hear it shot to Tony Yayo, he talk about all the time. You see this? They are the guys. Tony Yayo, these guys were not perpetrating as a character.
What do you mean Tony Yayo on one of the shows? I have him on the show.
I love Yayo. I'll call Yayo. If I hit Yayo, he'll answer me. Like this, you know what I mean? Like, this is real. Like, people got to understand this is real. Where I don't want to say every rapper that fakes gets hurt, but it's much more susceptible to be fake and get hurt because you don't know what to do in those scenarios.
Okay. Let me get off this topic because
I was gonna say real quick because he probably won't get mentioned again, but the amount of AAU gyms that I was in where Thoughts of a Predicate Felon, Tony Yayo's, I think it was his debut played in like middle school, which was not a bad sign. Oh,
that's so crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, Yayo was everywhere, man. Yayo was Vlad every day.
I want to talk about success. What is momentarily, right, with streaming services and all these things and everything that's going on in the music business, what is deemed success for an artist?
I think
in your eyes, you're like,
I think but I think it's the most subjective statement that you could ask me, because some people think success is living in the moment. Some feel like my song is playing around everywhere, and there's someone else who goes, I have enough money to survive forever. I think the majority of the culture is, do I have the biggest record at the moment?
how do you get the biggest record at the moment?
I mean,
Walk me through it.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to give the secrets out. Or you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
I mean, the thing is like this: to get the biggest record, okay. Let's compare it to 2000s to now, right?
Yeah.
2000s, to have the biggest record in the world, you needed to be on TRL, 106 in Park, and if your song was coming through those two platforms, did y'all have 106 in Park?
106 Park. Was that with Bow? No, it was not.
Well, yes. Eventually Bow Wow was. The original is Free and AJ. Shout out Free.
I was younger. Okay.
Yeah. So that was a big thing, because they were like getting your. Okay. When it was back in the day, there was less places to get information. So you just needed to control 2 or 3 avenues of information, and then you were lit. So if you came through TRL, Total Request Live, which was MTV show, 106 in Park, which was the BET version, which was the black rap version of the show, and then maybe MTV2 if your video is playing, right? Then you're already lit. You're on top of the world, because the couple places we can get music from, we're seeing you, right? That's success then. Now, there is no one platform that says, if you come through here, you're successful. Problem with that is, now you get subgenres and sub-niche worlds where this artist is cool in this 5 big websites in this area and this type of things, and then this artist is huge over here. Because I tell everybody like this, right? For every Drake that can sell out a concert, there's a Playboy Cardi. You familiar with Playboy Cardi?
Yes.
Do you ever hear Playboy Cardi like music when you're just chilling? It doesn't really. It's 2 different worlds.
No, I haven't.
It's like almost. I call it like alternative rap. You know, like how there's alternative rock where the kids are going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He puts face paint on and masks and does all of the yelling. It's like alternative rap. So how is it that he can sell out 20,000 seats and he can sell out 20,000 seats and they're not in the same game? So there's a larger point that I've been going viral for, where I'm talking about hip hop as a culture and as a genre should have sub-genres to make the success more clear to the viewer and to the artist. Because Drake is rap, right? But then there's also alternative. And then there's also the singy rapper singies, you know, like the A Boogie who can sing and rap. Rowdy Rich, you get what I mean? Like, is he singing or rapping? He's not doing either. It's this melodic version. Little Durk, Little Baby, you get what I mean? They're Future. They're not rapping or singing. They're doing their own thing. So I've been advocating and trying to stir up the pot to get to someone like the Grammys or the Billboard Awards or the Spotify, Amazons, to be like, we need to make that a genre. That way, the success starts becoming more obvious to us. To go, if you're number one in this world, then the thing is, to connect the last dot, us as a culture has not done the best job with respecting our genre enough to give it the subgenres we need to then stand firmer.
So now I got a question, because you did say about Drake and stuff. Drake and Kendrick, right? And obviously, I'm in another world. I'm
with you.
But I'm watching, and I'll keep out some people who send me some stuff. I'll see some memes and stuff like that. Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah.
Who won?
I think Drake all day. The majority of the world thinks Kendrick won, and I understand why. But I think Drake did. Because I don't get marketed to. Yes. There's nothing in the planet that you can market me.
And before you continue, somebody asked me, and I was like, guys, I have no clue. This is not even my thing. He was like, oh, what do you think? What I think? I said, I listen. Like, I think like Kendrick, like he lyrically, like I've listened to stuff and he makes so much sense. But I think like on a daily basis, it's harder to listen to Kendrick than Drake. Drake is clubs, this, that, like any kind of mood, you know what I mean?
Drake's is one of the greatest things I've ever heard in my life.
It was really hard to be a fan of both. And
you know what I mean?
I think most people were.
They made it almost
like when it all first happened, everyone would ask, who did this? Who did? And it was just like, you could take me to a time in my life in high school where October's Very Own or Thank Me Later was on, like probably on a mixtape CD, and it was perfect. Or like seeing Kendrick, like it got to a point where it's like you can't be a fan of both. But I was, on my Spotify, I was like, I'm a fan of both. I'm going to listen to both.
Yeah, it's just like
that's American culture. Decisive.
Yeah, you had a tough day, or I have a tough day, or like, I was talking with players. Like, players get cut. You're in the car. You listening to J. Cole or Kendrick. You're in the car, you listening. We about to get lit, we getting high, we about to get lit. I'm listening to Drake.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. It's the two different like.
I mean, every
areas of
artist
life,
connects to you emotionally.
right?
Drake
So
is all me.
So
Just
what do you?
different.
That's all I want to say. Like, okay, Drake.
Drake is all. I don't even waver. I go viral. I go viral for just talking my opinions. I understand what Kendrick did. I understand how talented he is. I grasp it, but I don't get marketed to. And I feel like a lot of the win and the perception of the win is marketed that way, to where Drake is. I'm like, I don't see it. If I played all the records right now for me with my rap ear, and I played this record, the back and forth, I favor Drake every time.
Just
I don't even walk the line.
You're talking about overall.
I'm talking about every single moment. I know that Kendrick had a highly successful song that dissed Drake. I'm aware, but my only commentary to it is that the most popular part of the song is just it's not a fact. Like Drake doesn't like kids, so I don't get it.
Yeah.
I get it,
yeah, but got you.
So I just don't. I go. It's entertainment. I think it's great and like fire. But like the moment, probably A minor. Oh my, he killed him. I'm like, you just can't. Thanalysis is 5 feet tall. It's like, it's just not true. I don't get. But I just think it's marketed that way. Thanalysis is 5'5". Y'all would never know it. And just keep just saying whatever I want. I don't get it. So I understand he's a talented artist.
So give me so now. And that was huge, right? It was big everywhere. I mean,
it was the biggest thing in the world.
And I think after the Super Bowl, it became even bigger just because of the Super Bowl.
Because marketing. There's a reason why it's the pinnacle of it. When it stopped the next day, you see it on every blog. Marketing. People are spending for this level of attention.
Well, depending on what you were reading, it was either the greatest or the worst halftime show ever.
Yeah, because some people didn't like it, some people like. I was focused on the game. I was trying to see if Philly and Mahomes. I mean, we do sports, so
yeah. But it's funny that the way you said that. Not to interrupt you, but you were just like, it's because you got to be. Everything has to be divisive. Like when it was Drake Kendrick, it was hard to be a fan of either one. You kind of just kept your AirPods in, right? Like we can't do a show, or we're told we do this anyways. We're told we can't do a show where you're like, I like Kobe and I like LeBron.
No, you got to be
absolutely not. You got to pick
which
one.
is okay.
I want to talk sports with you. I have to.
Okay.
Because we got to go viral.
But
that means he's about to say something.
But I'll tell you, like, to me, I believe when it comes to information, the more information I know, then I can create an opinion. If I don't know, why do I have to pick a side when I don't know? You're trying to make me pick a side when I don't know this. Now, if I have enough information, I'm a very, very, very like lame person. Like I'm a very like stay over there, but if you're not with us, you're over there. Or if you, I don't like the in between stuff.
Either.
So I am like that as a person. Now I want to ask you, like, okay, if you could say this is one beef, give me. I would love to know, like, which other beef have you seen that was this close to this?
No, I mean, the only other rap beef, attention-wise, that's ever been this big is Jay-Z and Nas. It's the only beef that's ever been as publicized. Jay-Z and Nas.
Okay. I thought like Pac and, but it wasn't beef. It wasn't a beef. Pac
they spill that over as if it's a lot more.
Give me, I can't think about over it. Give me a top 5 New York, bro.
Top 5 New York what?
Rappers of all time.
Oh, I just did this the other day. I don't do all time. Because if they died too, I do it because I have to put DMX in my 5. But I love Jay-Z, DMX, 50 Cent.
Jay-Z, DMX, and 50 Cent.
Fabulous, Jadakiss.
Fabulous, Jadakiss.
Jay-Z, DMX, yeah.
I feel like New York's a city where if you went and asked you...
And I got to add Nicki Minaj as like an asterisk. Nicki Minaj is an unbelievable rapper.
Give me a top 5 songs of it. Like Nicki Minaj.
Top 5 songs? Oh, Nicki Minaj songs?
Yeah, that you like.
It's different. I mean, I respect Nicki Minaj so much as a rapper. Okay. I don't really connect with her music like that.
Her verse on Monster is still all time.
Yeah, that's
all
time.
Sing it, Tony. Sing it.
I'm not gonna disrespect her in that way. No, the Monster with Kanye. Give
me the lyrics.
Put me on the spot here.
Yo, you rap though, you gonna go viral. But my favorite Nicki record is Moment for Life. She goes crazy on Moment for Life. Oh my God.
It's crazy how you can ask people, your top 5. If you ask people your top 5 favorite basketball players, you're probably going to have one or two overlap for sure.
Yeah.
But like you ask people their top 5 New York rappers, there's not going to be a ton of overlap. I feel like you'll have one.
You're going to get Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas a lot, but Nas isn't in my top 5 favorite. Favorite? Nah. Favorite is different. My top 5 favorite New York rappers: Jay-Z, DMX, Jadakiss, Fabulous.
Yo, this verse was so hot, man.
Which is the best verse you've ever heard, though?
Best verse I've ever heard. Best verse is I'm so far ahead of my time. I'm about to start another life. Look behind you. I'm about to pass you twice. I just slow for the present. For the present, I'm fast. Niggas can't get past my past. How you propose to deal with a perfect present when you could unwrap the gift and the curse in one session? Ain't no living person could test him. Only 2 rested in heaven could be mentioned in the same breath as him. 7 straight summers critics might not admit it, but nobody in raps did it quite like I did it. If they did it, I've done it before. If they had it, I got mad at it. I don't want it no more. And that goes from everything from, like, I can go on and on, but Jay-Z, when he speaks, the position is what makes me connect. When Jay-Z he said the most arrogant verse ever in an annoyed tone, because he was like, 7 straight summers critics might not admit it, but nobody in raps did it quite like I did it. If they did it, I've done it before. If they had it, I got mad at it. I don't want it no more. Like, when you're hearing that and goes, shit, because he's meaning that.
Yeah.
Only 2 rested in heaven could be mentioned in the same breath as him. Like, I was just like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, that's what made it. It's not just the best verse. It's also the best verse from the best rapper at the best moment, at the best point in time to then deliver. It's ridiculous. Jay-Z is insane. Jay is insane. You know, like, those are just crazy.
I think we can end the podcast right here.
Right there. Yeah. We should edit out what I just did.
Yeah, we're gonna edit out
and feature that one.
That'd be cool. I just missed, Tony in his best impression. I don't know. Listen.
Oh man, I don't like the end of the podcast, but another end of the podcast. Thank you so much, Punch, for coming in. Thank you so much.
I love it. I can't wait to come back and argue more basketball with TA.
Yes. And I do love, bro, just your mentality, the way you approach things. I think, like, you should be getting way more credit for what you do, but, we'll talk about the resume. We'll talk about that another time. But first of all, thank you, Tony, for having us. Thank you for the production, everybody. Want to thank our sponsors, Thanalysis, show presented by Gruber, the offices, one call.
That's all.
Want to thank Potawatomi Casino Hotels. You guys have been amazing. You've been with us from the beginning of the show and to many more years to come. I want to thank Prisoner Wine Company. If you don't have a bottle yet, please go get a bottle. They're great. They're amazing partners, but they got great wine. And last but not least, I'm loving it. Go get your Happy Meals. Go get your new. We have Minecraft actually just came out. They have a great meal. Enjoy. Thanalysis out.